scratch-resistant, stylish. Vitraza glass chair mats.
You can't get them at the office superstore. You got to order direct at Vitraza.com. That's V as in Victor, Vitrazza, Vitraza.com.
Use the discount code SMOOTH to save 10% on any in-stock or custom size.
Vitraza.com.
The Tennessee Valley's News Talk Leader. News Talk Leader. Nuga Radio, 92.7 FM.
Nuga Radio, Chattanooga weather.
Spotty and damp weather continues out there through your evening hours. Still a few spotty showers around tonight. They'll diminish overnight lows into the lower 40s. For Sunday, lots of clouds but dry. Highs settling into the lower 50s. For Monday, much nicer, more sunshine, highs upper 50s. Get ready for Christmas with Dixieland Fireworks, locally owned with the largest selection around. A Black Cat dealer. Great stocking stuffers now at Dixieland Fireworks, just off I-75 on Ringgold Road, East Ridge. And I'm Sorenstein 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Moore.
Nuga Radio 92.7. Nuga Radio.
Are you brain dead? Still voting for pathetic liberals? Take 3 hours of Sean Hannity from 3 to 6.
Nuga Radio.
Then call us in the morning between 9 and 11.
92.7.
Nuga Radio. WPLZ HD4 Ottawa, W224AZ Chattanooga.
Serving Chattanooga.
Broadcasting live from the center of the universe, the Tennessee Valley's most listened to news talk station.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Jim Taylor. Wide-ranging reaction to the decision from a federal judge in Texas that Obamacare is unconstitutional. CBS's Kenneth Craig reports.
Nancy Pelosi, who is likely to become Speaker when Democrats take control of the House next month, called the ruling absurd and promised to protect the Affordable Care Act. Meanwhile, in an interview on Fox News, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton touted the decision as a victory. He's one of the lawsuit's prominent backers.
We believe from the very beginning it was unconstitutional, and we think the judge did the right thing.
And President Trump tweeted his satisfaction and called on Congress to pass a new health care law.
Next Chief of Staff at the White House, Budget Director Mick Mulvaney. As we hear from CBS News political consultant Leonard Steinhorn.
He was a conservative member of Congress from South Carolina. He's a true believer in the president's cause. He will be on the president's side. There won't be the type of backbiting and second guessing that you heard from John Kelly over the past year or so.
Will Congress be able to avoid a government shutdown next week? Delivering the Democrats' weekly address, California Congresswoman Lucille Roybal-Allard.
Republicans are driving our nation to the brink of another disastrous government shutdown at a time of great economic uncertainty and right in the middle of the holiday season.
Officials leading the search for a missing Colorado woman, Kelsey Barrett, urging her fiancé to speak with investigators. Police are searching Patrick Frazie's property.
Based on information developed during the course of this investigation, and because of the length of time, it's been 23 days that has passed since Kelsey was last seen. Our investigators believe that Kelsey's disappearance is more suspicious and that she is not intentionally avoiding efforts to find her.
On the streets of Paris today, police and protesters scuffling on the Champs-Élysées for the fifth consecutive weekend. There's tear gas in the air. At least 21 people have been detained today. Australia formally recognizing West Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Prime Minister Scott Morrison.
Furthermore, recognising our commitment to a two-state solution, the Australian government has also resolved to acknowledge the aspirations of the Palestinian people for a future state with its capital in East Jerusalem.
Guess who's not drinking? Well known for decades of whiskey guzzling, lead guitarist for the Rolling Stones. Keith Richards says it's been about a year now. Says he just got fed up with it. His bandmates say he's much easier to work with. More mellow, they say. For the record, Richards says he still has the occasional glass of wine or a beer. This is CBS News.
Are you hiring? With Indeed, you can post a job in minutes, set up screener questions, then zero in on qualified candidates in an online dashboard. Get started at Indeed.com/hire.
At Target, it's time to give, gather, and save with weekly holiday deals. This week only, save $10 when you spend $50 on toys, or save $25 when you spend $100 on toys, like a Pick Me Pops Unicorn Super Flip, LOL Bigger Surprise, a Power Wheels Jeep, or whatever else is on their toy wish list. for shopping well played and holidays so made. Grab the coolest Target toys for hip hips and hoorays. Gather round for weekly holiday deals all season long. Only at Target. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
At Walgreens, we know it's cold and flu season again, a time when all you're trying to do is get your kids out the door for school, but instead you're coughing and have a fever of 101. That's why Walgreens is minutes away to help you find everything you need, like Walgreens brand cold and flu. Along with expert care that goes beyond the pharmacy, stop in today for personalized advice and find the right relief right here. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Now with card, Walgreens brand cold and flu is $9.99 through December 15th. Use as directed.
Halftime at the Super Bowl. A lonely place.
The Super Bowl halftime show is proving to be more and more challenging. With rumors that Maroon 5 will be the main act, Variety reports producers are struggling to find acts to join them on stage. Singers and groups apparently want to stay away due to the controversy over a player's right to protest, a la Colin Kaepernick. The band has reportedly reached out to more than a half dozen stars, including Cardi B and Usher, who have been asked to help. But so far, no luck. The group's also been looking for a local Atlanta act, since that's where next year's Super Bowl will be held. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Brightest comet of the year. Zooming past Earth this weekend, the comet with a rather uninspiring name of 46P/Wirtanen is among the 10 closest comet approaches to Earth since 1950, 20th closest, dating back as far as the 9th century. I'm Jim Taylor, CBS.
3, 2, 1. Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
Chattanooga City Hall was evacuated this morning after a report of a gas leak. Bruce Garner, fire department spokesman, told the press that there were no injuries reported and it was evacuated mostly as a precaution. Photos showed the roads clogged with emergency vehicles. As many as 8 bomb threats were detected around Hamilton County. They were sent via email, warning that a bomb would be detonated unless the victims sent Bitcoin to the attackers. Sequoia High School and Daisy Head Start were both placed on lockdown, but later the police gave the all clear. The police do not believe the threats were credible. New pro soccer team, the Chattanooga Red Wolves, could make its home just outside city limits. Reports say the team is eyeing Camp Jordan as a possible location for its home training center. City Council needs to sign off on the project before it's finalized. Sunday, Market Street from Cowart to West 13th shut down from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Plan accordingly. Russell Stroud, Nooga Radio News Talk 92.7 Action News now.
Cloudy and cool weather continues through your afternoon. Still a few spotty showers around. Highs lower 50s tonight. Slowly drying out. Lows into the lower 40s. For Sunday, lots of clouds but dry. Highs into the lower 50s. More sunshine back into the upper 50s on Monday. Experience the wonder of Ruby Falls Christmas Underground on a magical interactive journey to visit Santa at the North Pole. For tickets and more details, their website, rubyfalls.com. And I'm Storm Team 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Ford.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
I'm always watching the Travel Channel. There was this one episode shot in the Mediterranean one night. It caught my eye. And the food, wow, definitely wanted to try some of that. Luckily, I didn't need to go halfway around the world. I found Olive Branch Mediterranean Foods right here in East Ridge. East Ridge. They were telling me how the menu's made fresh daily. It's authentic and it's so delicious. Your next culinary trip, not halfway around the world. It's right here, waiting for you at home.
Visit Olive Branch Mediterranean Foods, 3992 Ringgold Road.
The first responders, these are the men and women who put themselves in harm's way for us. And here at Nooga Radio, we want to do our part to say thank you. On Nooga Radio, every Friday is First Responder Friday. We'll honor a first responder with a thank you gift from Nooga Radio's community partners. If there's a first responder you'd like us to honor, go to NoogaRadio.com and submit your nomination. First Responder Friday, sponsored by Doug Yates Towing and Recovery, the Mad Philly Sandwich Shop, Newark Pizza Department, and Nooga Radio 92.7 FM.
Celebrate the holidays at the Chattanooga Symphony and Opera's annual family tradition, Home for the Holidays, December 15th and 16th at the Tivoli Theater. Enjoy a concert filled with lively and classic holiday tunes from the most wonderful time of the year, as the CSO is joined by the CSO Chorus, Metropolitan Bells, and guest vocalist Dee Danasco. Pictures with Santa will be part of the festivities. Tickets are available by calling 423-267-8583 or online at chattanoogasymphony.org.
The station you hear everywhere.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
Good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Blitz. Happy Saturday. I'm Nick Leffew. Joined beside me is John Christopher and Sam Jordan in the back.
Great. Chattanooga.
So, John, how's it going?
It's going good. What about yourself?
Doing well. So you got some news going on for us. You're starting your show when?
We start December 31st at 7 p.m. Going to be called The Sports Guys. I'm going to be hosting. I'm going to have lots of guests coming in. I'm going to have scheduled, and we're going to talk 2 hours of pure sports, and we're going to blow this market just out of the water with the best sports in Chattanooga besides what you do.
This, and it's crazy because this market's so diverse with what it's got. You can talk Tennessee football, Tennessee athletics in general. You can talk Georgia. You can talk Alabama.
Razorbacks.
Nobody's talking
Razorbacks.
Woo Pig Suey.
Oh my gosh. I have to work for this guy, and then I got to listen to Woo Pig Suey.
Yeah. Well, the good news is, if, as a Tennessee fan, they're the one program worse in the SEC right now than Tennessee. So
in football
and in basketball,
too.
Tennessee's the best program in the SEC in basketball
right now. Till the Razorbacks come back, get into their national championship.
Nolan Richardson ain't walking through that door anymore, Sam.
Sorry.
Yeah, even though that's been tried.
Yeah, Nolan Richardson ain't walking through that door anymore. We got a full show, 9 o'clock hour. At 9 o'clock, got a couple of football players from the Chattanooga Eagles, semi-pro team coming in, a team that I used to coach with, and things like that.
I used to coach with the Crush. And then I was, for a little while this year, I was in the IFL league with the I had a Knoxville team that I was offensive coordinator for.
The Eagles just made the move to the IFL this year from the GDFL. So we'll talk to a couple of guys. We got 3 players coming in and at the top of the 9 o'clock hour. Obviously, Keon will join us whenever he gets here.
8:30 or so.
Yeah, whenever he gets here, whenever he gets done with his other job.
His real job.
And then he'll be over here. We're gonna talk a lot of college football playoffs. There's been a crazy trade in the NBA that
I have not heard this.
Yeah,
morning.
well, it's a trade that never happened because they couldn't get the name right of one of the players.
Really?
Yeah, it's been interesting. So I want to break that down with Keon. I'm my resident NBA guy because he knows a lot more about it than I do. But it's been an interesting start to trade season in the NBA. Jimmy Butler moving, and now this trade is.
The Jimmy Butler trade was a necessity, and he's doing very, very well now.
Yeah, except poor Joel Embiid is like, well, I thought this was my team, and now it's not.
But you know what? I mean, the NBA really needs something to stir it up. I mean, you have
stagnant.
The LeBron thing, you have the Stephon Curry, but other than that, there really isn't a whole lot of talk going around.
This
in the
probably,
NBA.
realistically, this is probably it for the Warriors. With Kevin Durant going to probably be gone at the end of the year, going somewhere else.
And they're underachieving right now.
And the thing is with the NBA, I don't really get, especially with the teams that are going to be good. I don't worry about them until playoff time comes around. They'll be fine. I think Golden State probably even if they struggle, at worst they're going to be a 2 or 3 seed. At worst
they'll be 3 seed. Watching in the nighttime business that I do, besides this here, I get to watch a lot of sports, and I watched them the other night, and I don't know that they just don't have that intensity they've had the last couple drives to be champions.
Yeah, and maybe they don't. Maybe the turmoil between Draymond Green and
Durant
and Kevin Durant is too much of a problem at this point. Maybe the cohesiveness that they've had over the last 3-4 years is just not there anymore. That's possible. The players get burnt out on each other.
Do you think we're seeing a changing of the guard of the elite teams right now?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, wherever
definitely Cleveland's not in that.
Wherever LeBron's going to be, that team's going to be in the playoffs.
No, I disagree with you.
I don't think the Lakers will be there this year.
I don't think they'll be there this year.
I mean, I never count LeBron out until he's mathematically eliminated.
Right.
And LeBron, they're going to be in the mix. And then, in my opinion, I love the Raptors right now.
They're hot.
I love Kawhi Leonard. I think he's wonderful,
and they're better without Kawhi Leonard,
which it blows my mind. But it's good. It's good for them. I love that. That franchise there. They've been through a lot. They fire their coach after he wins head coach or coach of the year. I mean, they've been through a lot. They're going to be just fine.
That took some balls.
It did, but you know what?
That really did.
But you know what though? You need it sometimes. Sometimes you just get stagnant. I think that's where it is. I mean, you look at coaching now. People don't stay places anymore. They don't stay long because they get stagnant.
The other thing of it is they're going to be very powerful in the East because LeBron left the East, and then because Cleveland was obviously a subpar team without him. And
don't forget about J.R. Smith now. I mean, come on.
Well, and not to mention, I really think that conference is between Boston and Toronto.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
And anytime
is Kyrie going to be able to be there?
Is he going to be?
Hayward's going to be there?
Yeah. Are they going to be able to stay healthy all year? That's the big thing for Boston. It's Toronto's or Boston's to lose. The Western Conference is still, in my opinion, still Golden State's to lose. Until somebody proves me wrong, because
Houston ain't doing it.
Well, no, they've completely fallen apart,
right?
Which is outstanding. Keon just texted me. He said we're going to talk about that trade because I didn't hear about it until actually I got here and I started looking up stories, and that was one of the things I was looking at. And I was like, oh my God, how does that even happen? But it's a good story. It's a good,
that's for sure.
It's a good tease to bring in when Keon gets here. With college football, there's not a lot going on. I think the first games of this week. I know Jason's down in
New Orleans
for MTSU's whatever that the RNL Carriers.
Yeah, with Appalachian State.
Appalachian State.
That should be a pretty good game. I feel like that'll be good. And
I told Jason I'm rooting for App State.
I am too. Now when what we should do is pull that up on a computer and take a piece of paper and have a little contest for a $10 gift card from Walmart. See who does the best on the bowl game picks.
Well, if they didn't start today, I should have started one of the little on ESPN. They have those bowl pick'ems. Mm-hmm. I should have started one, but I didn't even think about it, to be honest with you. And we could have done one, but my problem is having season tickets to Tennessee and going to all those games. I don't even really get to watch much unless Tennessee's on the road, because otherwise I'm on campus all day and anything. I mean, I can watch games after the Tennessee game's over, but I don't really get to watch much of anything unless it's Tennessee. And right now that's
or the inside of your eyelid.
That's pretty painful. I feel like most of the time I want to fall asleep in Neyland Stadium lately.
Hey, switching gears here for a second.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard yesterday the NFL has put Martavis Bryant on the restricted commissioners not play list. He started out with the Steelers and then
he's a Raider.
And then he was a Raider. Raiders took a chance by signing him.
I mean, he's talented. It's worth a shot.
He is. They signed him initially to a 10-day contract, and then they gave him a 1-year extension last year.
What about speaking of the Raiders, what about
Gruden?
Well, with Gruden, and then the story coming out yesterday that he had no idea they were trading Amari Cooper.
Really?
Amari Cooper said Gruden had no idea. Gruden or McKenzie, it was all Davis who made that move and didn't tell anybody.
That was the dumbest thing they ever did.
I wonder if that was the case with Khalil Mack then.
I doubt it, because I think Gruden, if you're real at looking at this, I think Davis and Gruden are both building for when they move to Vegas. So you get rid of Khalil Mack, which I think is stupid because you can build your defense around him. But I understand they have so many picks. Now it's on Gruden to make sure he gets those picks right, because if he gets them wrong, they're done for a long time, and he's got
like
$100 million sitting there that he's making to lose.
Here's the other thing. Besides the Martavis Bryant story that came out yesterday, it was announced yesterday that the Raiders do not have a home for next year either,
because they're being sued.
They might move to San Diego for a year.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the San Diego Raiders
for 1 year?
Yeah, but they're also, if they're not able to secure San Diego's facility, San Antonio, Texas is an alternate location.
Are they going to play at the Alamo Bowl?
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, that's the only real stadium down there.
I mean, it's better than the StubHub Center or whatever that the Chargers play in that has like 20,000 seats. So.
Right. Hey, by the way, if you want to call and talk about what we're talking about, the number is 423-800-8949, 423-800-8949. Lines are filling up, so give us a call.
If you just want to talk about anything else, you can always just change our topic. We're
flexible.
So looking at some top headlines here, Tua Tagovailoa has rejoined the
Crimson Tide.
The Crimson Tide for bowl practice now. So guess the ankle is rip roaring ready to go. I'm sure he's still in one of those black non-contact jerseys that Alabama has.
Oh, sure.
And then obviously, let's see. Look at that. Top headlines for college football. Akron hiring Chattanooga's Tom Arth as new coach. Look at that. Making ESPN.
You know, we just said this earlier, and we were online, Facebook Live on my page and on here, and Chattanooga's not going to have a Huseman anymore. I think they're going to be used as a stepping stone for the next coach to go to the next place.
They are, but here's the thing too, though. That means you're doing something right. If you keep getting coaches hired away, that means you're doing something right. So good on the athletic department at UTC because you're hiring the right guys. Your vetting process and your interview process, you're doing the right thing because
us fans are suffering.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're FCS level. And that's what happens because as bad as it is, those aren't destination jobs for most coaches. They want to move up to the FBS level. They want to be Power 5 coaches. It's amazing that UTC's been able to keep as much continuity as they had. They had Huseman for a while.
Right.
And you only get Arth for 2 years, and then he goes on. But good for Tom Arth. Akron, he's moving back towards home. I know he went to a D3 Christian school in
Campbell.
Yeah. I actually was reading an article about it the other day. Good for him. That's a great. I was reading an article by, I believe, Stephen Hargis.
Last year when I was doing the locker room show, I had Coach Arth on, one of the nicest gentlemen you could ever want to meet. Very sincere, very knowledgeable about football, which he should be. But when he's on the practice field, it's like totally different persona. It's like it's business. And Coach Arth, I'm really glad to see that he's able to advance as well. And we'll probably hear him, moving on to a bigger job. Akron is not the ideal job out there, but Coach Arth has done a great job here in Chattanooga. Now the question is, who steps in? There's several possibilities.
You see it a lot, and UTC's been really good at this. You can look at D3, you can look at D2, you can even look at other FCS jobs. Because if you're being honest, UTC's probably a better job than a lot of these other FCS jobs.
Sure, they got a better stadium, better facilities.
And the location is great.
Location
for recruiting. You got these hotbeds of around you. You have obviously the state of Georgia is going to be easily recruited for UTC. You can always recruit the Chattanooga area, which is always very under recruited in my opinion. And you can always go to Knoxville area and Middle Tennessee.
Oh yeah, one of the things about this out here is the fans like us for UT Chattanooga. We're going to be resilient, but we just want to win.
Yeah.
All we need to make this program to go to the next level is get a championship, and we were close a couple times.
Yeah, under Huseman. Huseman did such a great job building the program because when he took it over, it was
horrible.
It was a mess, and he turned it around, and Arth kept it moving in the right direction, and then now you just keep trying to find that next guy who's able to do it. Because if you look at UTC's basketball program, things kind of the same things have happened. You lose coaches to different places, and
we had some good coaches at UTC in basketball. Lamont Paris, his second year here. Katie Burrows, who just took over the women's basketball program at UTC. We've got some nice, fresh faces that I don't believe is going to be wanting to jump the ship anytime soon. And
Katie Burrows is in her dream job. This is where she wanted to be.
Which in her backyard.
And in basketball, there's not that, but like even the FCS level type jobs, mid-major jobs in college basketball, that's what you want to find. You want to find
20,000 seats and just hear those people going crazy.
I know, and that's another thing. The facilities at UTC are unbelievable, and that is a great testament to the University of Tennessee system to not just worry about their flagship university. They care about their satellite universities and the boosters for UTC, which are clearly able to help build these great facilities well. And, you look at even at Alabama, their system, they cut one of their programs.
Yeah.
And then Birmingham. And then they bring it back and they're really good.
Really well.
And Bill Clark, speaking of that program, Bill Clark wins Coach of the Year. Well deserved.
Yes.
That man has been through hell and back with that program.
Literally.
And did not leave those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a great little story I watched on that whole program. And when they reinstituted the program, he called all of his players back. Because most of them didn't go anywhere else to play because
that's where they want to play.
And in that situation, you're not transferring because you want to. You're transferring because you're told you have to, and that's stupid.
Right.
And
the community got behind all this, and I would not have wanted to be the president and the trustees having to deal with the public over UABs being shut down.
Well, I don't understand the thought behind it. It's not like that program was siphoning money. I mean,
no, not really.
I mean, in Birmingham, people want to watch football.
Sure, they do. They're in the heart of the I can't say the word, but they're in the heart of the athletics down there in football, basketball, and all that. And plus, that gives kids another alleyway to go play college football
in the state of Alabama too.
Exactly,
which is a lot of kids' dreams. I mean, because albeit most of them want to play for Alabama, but to get to play for UAB, a program that they won their conference.
They play big teams.
But here's the thing: it's just like with Chattanooga. Even though you graduate, it's going to say the University of Alabama or the University of Tennessee, even though you just went to Birmingham or in the case here in Tennessee, Chattanooga.
You're right.
It does not matter.
You're right.
You got that big that graduation diploma that says University of Tennessee or University of Alabama.
And it's funny you say that because I went to UTK and graduated in 2013. When I was 17 years old making my college decision, growing up in Chattanooga, I didn't want to go to UTC because one, it was UTC, and two, and that was because that was my home. I wanted to go away. But you see a lot of kids from Knoxville that I know that came down here because they wanted to go and get away. They didn't want to go to
exactly,
UTK.
But it's still UT.
It is,
UT
and your degree is still University of Tennessee.
University of Tennessee.
So either way, you're getting a great education, and those athletes, as we found, it is very important to do so because we had one at Tennessee, University of Tennessee, a linebacker who didn't play, declared for the NFL draft.
We did.
I'm not really sure what Corte Sapp was doing. I read an article that said he made himself declared himself for the draft, and I thought, oh, did we reinstitute the draft? Because he ain't going to the NFL draft.
No. He may go be XFL in 2020.
Yeah, or move to that AA or whatever, the American Alliance Football, whatever it is that Bill Polian's doing.
Right.
But I'm sorry, Corte Sapp, transfer and go play somewhere else for a year. Don't go to the draft. You've graduated. You have your degree. Go somewhere else. Don't declare for the draft. I don't want to see that kid fail. And now he's not going to necessarily fail. He's going to fail in football because he's not ready for the NFL.
Well, since you mentioned that and everything, the one thing that I admire, Admiral Schofield.
Love that kid.
Last year, he dabbled looking to see whether or not he wanted to go to the NBA. And within days of the draft, his stock wasn't that great. I mean, he's a great basketball player, but I mean, for NBA caliber talent, and look at the season he's having this year.
Him and Grant Williams are having a phenomenal year.
They're loving it.
You look at the season that Grant Williams had, minus the game against Gonzaga. He's struggled with his shot. Now he's still put up numbers, but he struggled with his outside shot. And then in Phoenix, for whatever reason, he's just lighting the world on fire. And good for Admiral. I'm happy for him. He also said one of the reasons he came back is he wanted to be Rick Barnes' favorite player he ever coached.
Yeah,
which he very well could be. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know Admiral. I got to know when I was there. I got to know guys like Wayne Chisholm and people like that because they were there when I was there. I obviously don't know Admiral Schofield, but I'm gonna tell you right now, him and Grant Williams seem like two just genuine people. And good for them for getting an opportunity. I think Grant will come back next year. I don't think he's NBA ready. He's got to develop a 3-point shot, and it's better, but he's got to develop a 3-point shot because Tennessee could still be really good next year. And
I think
for the years
Tennessee
to come.
basketball is going to be good for a couple
years.
Till Rick Barnes leaves.
Yeah.
I believe that Tennessee will be a perennially top 10 team until Rick Barnes leaves. At worst, top 15.
Call us at 423-800-8949, 800-8949.
Yeah, what we'll do, we'll reset. We just kind of dabbled in a little bit of everything in that first segment. We'll reset. We'll come back. Keon should be here. We might dive into some headlines if we don't have any conversation topics. We'll dive into some news of the weird.
Do we have a game this week?
Who have
amongst us?
What do you mean?
You know, like we know.
Oh, yeah. Well, we might do that. It depends. With the Eagles coming in, it's just going to depend on how much time we have. And we obviously got to talk college football playoff as well. You're listening to the Breakfast Blitz with Nick Leffew and friends. We'll be right back after this message.
Three, two, one.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
A victim was shot on Chamberlain Avenue last night around 7:15. The victim hospitalized in an unknown condition. Details are limited as police are still investigating. If you have any information about what happened, give the police a call at 698-2525. A Chattanooga police sergeant is the subject of an internal investigation after reports say he solicited prostitutes. Sergeant Peter Turk placed on administrative leave pending the completion of the investigation. He was taken into custody in a joint task force operation between the CPD Vice Squad and the TBI. And another earthquake hit Tennessee just a day after the record-breaking 4.4 magnitude quake, which rocked the Tennessee Valley. Reports say a more common 1.1 earthquake rattled residents of Decatur. Small quakes, not uncommon, but they seem to be more frequent as time goes on. Val St. John for Nooga Radio, News Talk 92.7, Action News now.
Sean Hannity, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 p.m. on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
Your home is a constant work in progress. Repaint the walls? Yeah, easy enough. Leaky faucet? There's a video for that. But roof repair? You might want some help. That's where Chattanooga Roofing Contractors come in. They have 3 generations of roofing excellence you can count on. Leave the ladder in the garage. Go to chatroofing.com. That's chatroofing.com for Chattanooga Roofing Contractors, a roofing company you can trust.
Hey folks, Jeff Stiles here, talk radio host and infamous technophobe. But I got to tell you, this Facebook Live that Nooga Radio does, it makes sense to me. It really does. Now, we're at 92.7 on the FM dial, but really where you need to go is NoogaRadio.com and just do the streaming audio, 8 to 10 a.m. The first hour is mostly just me just throwing commentary in on top of the news. The second hour is me frustrating and irritating you beyond all belief. NoogaRadio.com. Don't miss it every week.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Well, let's take a look at the naughty and nice list. Well, let's see here. There's Sonny and there's Deb. And even Eddie made the list too. Well, let's look at the naughty list. Well, there's Billy and Greg. If you think you're on the naughty list, stop by Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds and get 70% off select merchandise in the store. Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds, 5301 Brainerd Road, Chattanooga.
For your small business, ending the year the right way can set you up for success come January. No need to let end-of-year panic set in. Easy Books and Taxes can help set up your books or new payroll service so that you can relax and enjoy the holiday season. With 35 years, bookkeeping, individual, and business tax preparation, it's easy. With Easy Books and Taxes, you run the business, we keep the books. Call us today at 423-755-0821.
Man, you sure you know what you're doing?
Yeah, I worked with my dad on his truck all the time. Just one more bolt to go.
Yeah, wrong bolt. Today's truck ain't your daddy's truck. For repairs on today's vehicles, you need AMCO Transmission and Total Car Care of Chattanooga on Lee Highway. Stay on the road, not in the garage. AMCO Transmission on Lee Highway. Get it done the right way. The Thompson Pet Way. Yeah, I just put that anywhere.
Hi, this is Scott Schrader. Tune in Saturdays for We've Got You Covered. From finance to fixtures and all things in between, when it comes to your home, we'll help steer you in the right direction. We've Got You Covered, 10 to 12 every Saturday on Nuga Radio 92.7 FM.
Cloudy and cool weather continues through your afternoon. Still a few spotty showers around. Highs lower 50s tonight. Slowly drying out. Lows into the lower 40s for Sunday. Lots of clouds but dry. Highs into the lower 50s. More sunshine back into the upper 50s on Monday. Experience the wonder of Ruby Falls Christmas Underground on a magical interactive journey to visit Santa at the North Pole. For tickets and more details, their website, rubyfalls.com. And I'm Soren Jean 12, Chief Meteorologist, Patch Report.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
Welcome back to the Breakfast Blitz. I'm Nick Leffew, joined by my cast of characters, John Christopher, Sam Jordan, and now Keon Rose.
And make sure, in order to get a word in, I promise you need to call 423-800-8949, because there is a debate going on, which we're going to involve you online, both places, 4-game and 8-game playoff. We want to hear from you. We have kind of went over our reasons why, but we're going to go over it in depth, not right now, but Keon is going to talk about a trade that did not happen.
Hey, Keon, and who was involved? Whose team was involved? That screwed it up.
The Wizards.
Yeah.
Hey, put that microphone close to your face. I can't hear you.
The professional basketball.
I can't hear him either. Is he up?
Oh, it's because your volume's not up because I don't know how to run a board.
Well, no, you had the volume down because you know that the shouting is going to start. I'm trying to resist the urge to punch myself in the forehead. Not with this, Sam. Not with this. You
can blame that on your GM.
At no point in my entire life has it been possible to somehow escape the clown show of this franchise. You can't.
And which franchise are you referring to?
To the Washington Wizards. Though
the Washington Bullets.
Put in the place any name of a team in that city outside of the Caps, and at this point, that's what you'd have.
I mean, okay, let's go. I can give you another city that has sorry teams. Atlanta. The only championship they got in Atlanta is MLS.
Well, I don't know. Okay. The Braves are really going to be really good.
They still haven't made a championship
for a really long time. Like, this great team's going to be.
I hate to interrupt you because I just met you because I don't want to, make you think I'm taking it over.
You're already past that point.
But here's the thing. The Caps, the hockey saved us. Okay,
the whole city.
Take
the whole city. Just like MLS saved Atlanta.
Take the Caps out of the equation. The history of Washington sports in the last 20 years blows Atlanta away in terms of incompetence, uselessness, and just backwards decision making.
Well, now what's the latest decision making that a certain GM who actually makes me sad that he's not good at it because he's a former Vol. But
I mean, and he was good while he was a Vol, and he hadn't been good since. It's this. So the Wizards were going to trade Kelly Oubre and Austin Rivers. They were involved in a 3-team trade with the Grizzlies and the Suns.
Rivers.
And actually, it was originally reported that the Suns were the ones that screwed up the trade, and they're the only teams more backwards than us. So,
their logo, it looks the same upside down as it does.
Which is the most clever thing about that team. You'd like that to be the players or the coach or the GM.
No, their marketing's better than their
actual
athletes.
Sports team.
Yeah.
And their owner actually doesn't care about winning. He's more about saving money. When you trade a 2nd-round pick for 2 number 1s, you're trying not to pay people. Okay, he was asking the city of Phoenix for money for the new stadium. And there was a woman that came to the meeting to absolutely criticize him. And she said what is it? He's so tight that when he walks, he squeaks.
Right.
This 80-year-old woman is just taking him to task for how cheap he is. Yeah, the Suns are the only organization worse than us.
Sounds like our boss here.
So they were both. They were both involved in this trade. What happened?
Basically, the Memphis Grizzlies have 2 players with the last name of Brooks. Ernie Grunfeld got the Brookses confused.
Whoops.
And that halted the trade. When they all submitted the paperwork to the league office, Ernie wrote the wrong Brooks.
And was Phoenix like, oh, wait. No, that's the wrong guy.
That's the wrong Brooks. We don't want that one. We don't. It was Marshawn Brooks. I'm trying to get the name of the other one.
Yeah, I don't even remember the other guy's name because he's not important. Like, if you're Ernie Grunfeld and you've watched any basketball, that's
Marshawn Brooks and Dylan Brooks.
Because Marshawn is definitely the one that actually plays.
Yeah,
Dylan Brooks is probably the ball boy.
He sits on the end of the bench. He's in guard and tackle.
There are other reports that it's a combination confusion between. Also, the Suns believed it was Dylan. Also, so
it's not just Ernie Grunfeld.
It's not just Ernie, but hey. The 2 most incompetent teams in a 3-team trade screwed up the trade. Oh, I wonder how that could have happened.
Well, it's because the Grizzlies weren't even involved. The Grizzlies were like, you guys just do what you need to do, put the right paperwork.
We're just trying to make the money work. We need to clear cap space. This works for us.
So the third team, who really wasn't even going to get anything out of this, who was the one who probably realized, well, were they going to get a Ariza out of this deal?
The Wizards were trying to get a Ariza.
Which doesn't make any sense to me either.
The Grizzlies were going to get either Oubre or Rivers, and that was going to be either have a nice backup for Conley or Kelly Oubre's really young, up and coming.
Yeah.
You might be able to turn him into something.
Yeah. So is there any chance this deal gets done at all now, or no? Is it just done?
Well, it's so heavily publicized that that might be the thing that kills it, is that everyone's so aware of what screwed the whole thing up.
This will make a great trivia question.
A few years down the road, remember? Keon will never forget.
I will never forget. But go ahead and add it to the list when you talk about this is a franchise in which we've had a point guard bring guns into the locker room and put poo in his teammate's shoe, and
wow,
yeah, you have a member of this team.
Gilbert Arenas, was it not?
That was Gilbert Arenas on both counts. And then you have Andre Blatch, who couldn't make Team USA and is now playing for the Philippines. And just go ahead and just add to the list of just silly things that this team has done forever.
Can we say change them to another city?
You know what we need, though? You know what? This is what American sports needs. We need relegation.
The hockey team too. So I don't know what. He's just bad at basketball.
And there's a lot less people to employ. I don't understand how you get this wrong. At some point, you got to look at the people you're hiring to evaluate talent.
Ernie Grunfeld has survived 2 owners. He has been the GM of this team for 13 years, and I don't know how.
Because of his name.
Because of his name. Ernie and Bernie show.
It's literally his name. That is the only reason he's got his job.
Yeah, but at some point, the patience wears out. We didn't let Phil Jackson run the Knicks forever, and they're the Knicks.
That's a good point. Of course, he set the Knicks back 20 years, and that's why they're still the way they are.
He's Phil Jackson.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's interesting, though, and I said this in joking while you were ranting, Keon, but maybe this is what American sports needs that others, soccer across the world has. Relegation, yeah. The way you fix this problem is you say, "Oh yeah, y'all aren't good enough." Bye.
Yeah.
That's how you fix it.
Just get rid of the franchise.
Well, let's just move them down to a lower level.
The lowest ranked team. Yeah. Bring up the best G League team. Move down the worst NBA team.
Now you're going to have to make the discrepancies in talent a lot better because there's no way a G League team could compete in the NBA. However, if you were able to balance the talent out just a little bit.
If you get G League teams and allow them to be involved, and I know that no NBA owner wants this, but allow G League teams to be involved in free agency in some way, I promise you that'll balance things out.
Hey, I think that's a great idea, though. I mean, that way you make the owners spend money, because guess who's not going to come to games if they're not in the NBA? Fans.
Right.
And guess what you're not going to make? Money. And that's what all owners want to do. There are very few that actually care about winning. The rest of them just care about making money.
And that's the issue with the Wizards too. With Ted Leonsis, He's fine. The Wizards make the playoffs every year, sometimes barely, but they make it. And he's fine making the playoffs, and the fans show up and they pay because look good enough. What else do we have to root for in that town as our football team could
Nationals
for half a season, and then of course we realize that maybe our team name is possibly a little bit racist
and cursed.
And cursed. Yeah.
Maybe they're just cursed.
Literally cursed. And both our quarterbacks broke their legs. And like, what are you rooting for?
Mark Sanchez. Didn't they cut him? Did they cut him?
They didn't cut him, but they benched him.
Yeah, Mark Sanchez was their quarterback after Colt McCoy got hurt.
Yeah.
But they didn't plan on that. They didn't think Colt McCoy was going to break his leg 2 weeks after Alex Smith broke his leg.
And now all of a sudden we're hearing that the Redskins may end up signing Kaepernick.
Well, Kaepernick says he hasn't heard from the Redskins.
Okay, first off, that guy's been out of football for so long now.
You know what?
Almost impossible.
We're still somehow
would be better.
No, we wouldn't. Stop being crazy. Listen to me. I want to win football games, and this is a team. This is a team. We're
in the same division as my
I know, and miraculously, we're only one game back of the lead.
Ladies and gentlemen, that Cowboys team is not good.
It's not a good Cowboys team.
It really is.
That Eagles team is not very good. None of the teams in NFC East are very, very good at all. And the quarterback you are starting next week is Josh Johnson, who I only learned of in the last 7 days.
Wasn't he that quarterback that played for the Buccaneers when they were really, really bad?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And say what you want to about Colin Kaepernick and the politics. This is a team that has so far signed 2 domestic abusers and Adrian Peterson, who beat his child so hard,
still does,
swelling and said he still beats the child. So at that point, you don't have morals. Sign Kaepernick. What's your problem? On your team.
We have people beating people and other stuff. This guy,
like the day that Reuben Foster got released, we signed him.
Yes, that was ironic.
If you don't sign Kaepernick, it's just like I don't even know what you don't care about winning. You don't care about winning.
I'm having to back Keon's mic off.
That's the highlight of this whole show right here.
Domestic abuse.
Turn him back on.
This is signed him last week.
I'm really having to fluctuate your levels over here, Keon.
I bet you are. You're the producer. That's not my intention. But it just kills me.
I think we hit
Keon.
Tweet button.
Take a little drink of water here. Washington's going to still be bad in a minute.
Hey, well, here's the thing. Here's the thing too. If you're the Redskins, like if I'm we were talking about the Wizards, that to me is a lost cause at this point. The Redskins
not
aren't.
For them. That's why they were trying to trade. The only people who seem to think that they have a chance are them.
And to try to get Trevor Ariza.
Oh my gosh,
because he's still in his prime.
The problem is we don't have a center because Dwight Howard pulled a muscle in his butt, and he's the only big man on the roster.
He's back hurt.
423-800-8949. 423-800. 8949.
Trevor Ariza is gonna play center? Okay.
Well, he's not very good. He's not very good anymore. I mean,
Trevor Ariza's fine, but he is
not what you need.
Trevor Ariza can't be the second or third or fourth best player on your team. You need him to play defense and shoot threes. If you ask him to do literally any more than that,
that's why he was so good those Lakers years.
Yeah, he also. I mean, it was a contract year too, and contract Trevor Ariza is a real thing. But like,
yes, he is.
Trevor Ariza contract year the last time he was with the Wizards was fantastic. Contract year with the Rockets was real fantastic. It's just you don't get Trevor Ariza on a contract year. Who knows what you're going to get?
Trash.
You're liable to get a guy that doesn't show up to the gym.
Probably. And if you want that same fervor that you just heard here in the last 2-3 minutes, tune in tomorrow from 11 to 1 for The Clutch with Keon Rose.
When again, I will be talking about the Wizards with nobody to stop me this time.
Hey, Keon, could I come and talk with you tomorrow from 11 to 1?
Because that's going to be funny.
You are welcome to.
Okay.
I'll cry laughing while I watch. But look, that trade was an absolute, or the lack of trade was an absolute disaster. Again, microcosm of Washington sports minus the Capitals.
To quote the old Bud Light commercial, it was a travesty, a sham, and a mockery. You could say it was a Travis-sham mockery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great commercial. Those were great commercials, by the way. Those were outstanding.
I can't wait till the Super Bowl when you see some really good commercials.
You think the Washington Redskins would be in it? He would be so ecstatic.
Well, during the last Super Bowl, the Redskins did have at least one Super Bowl ad. in which a Native American foundation decided to come out and say they thought our name was racist.
Ah.
So I should say, you know what? If they're running those ads in the Super Bowl, why don't we just be like the Warriors or the Braves or, you know, a Native American adjacent name that's not the Redskins?
If you're going to, like, you cannot.
People are offended. I'm off it. I'm not going to defend it anymore.
Here's the problem too. It's not like you're not giving them props with that race. You're not giving them any props with their history, like the Braves, the Seminoles, just named after a tribe.
Yeah.
The Illini, named after a tribe. No, we just Redskins. Which is very, very racist.
What I'm saddened about is Cleveland Indians are dropping Chief
Wahoo.
Wahoo.
Well, that's also a very racist culture.
No one has a problem. The Redskins can keep their logo because he's not literally red.
Right.
And you know what I mean? Like
Chief Wahoo is as red as the stripes on the American flag, which is really inappropriate. And
his design is like, if you drew a blackface character like Chief Wahoo, you'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
Right? So
it's the same concept. and the good on the Indians for just kind of, you know, what they did it well is they just kind of
phased them out.
Yeah, they just kind of slowly did. Love the Block C. The Block C is a good look, classic look for Cleveland.
But see, you know what Florida State does? They have a good reputation with the Seminoles down there. They pay them every year for the use of the name of the Seminoles. They do it right.
That's the thing. You can if you have your team named after a specific tribe, you can work something out with that tribe and say, we're not trying to be offensive to you. There are some Native American tribes that are not offended by the Redskin name. The problem is you have to appease all
everybody.
Native American tribes, and that they're a minority.
Well, and to be fair, that name in itself is very derogatory. Like that's what people would call them when they were making derogatory names towards Native Americans.
It didn't start off that way, and there's a whole history thing that where Native Americans would refer to themselves as Redskins as a way of saying, "Oh, we're just differentiating ourselves from you." The problem is that it turned into an insult, and you just can't. You just can't keep it.
Look, the problem is at this point, if you're the Washington Redskins, you can't just up and rebrand either.
I actually think you can.
Well, it might help,
but I think it definitely would. But also, Dan Snyder grew up a Redskins fan, and it's just not going to happen
until he sells the team.
So here's the thing:
he's going to die first.
And he's a young man.
The team's already died.
We're reborn every 5 years with just a glimmer of hope before it's huffed out.
Jay Gruden making it out of this year?
Yeah,
I think he will.
How do you blame a guy for losing an offensive guy for losing two quarterbacks? His rookie running back that we never even got to. We saw Darius Guice play for 2 plays. One play he broke off a 65-yard touchdown. The next play he tore his ACL. So you really can't. And also the entire offensive line.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Seriously, in all seriousness, Jay Gruden he does get to stay. Number 2, when you get 2 brutal injuries like both those quarterbacks. And Alex Smith, there's a very possibility after a lot of surgeries, there is a lot of infection. Alex Smith may be done.
He may never play football again.
Which that puts the Redskins in a whole nother mess because now you got to try to find and draft a quarterback because, Colt McCoy ain't the answer.
And you know what? In the draft, if you look it up right now, the quarterback class is not very, very good. And number 2.
And we don't draft high enough to get any
good ones. Number 2, your first 5 or 10 picks are going to be offensive linemen. So this is going to set a tone this year in Nashville, which I'm hoping that Boss over here will allow us to go up there for the draft and do a show and, that kind of thing.
In Nashville. We've talked about
who I'm waiting for the Redskins to sign here any day, Jared Lorenzen.
Oh, no.
He's like 95.
And he's bigger than I am.
I can give you a true story on this.
Yeah,
when I was with the Erie explosion.
Yep, we have.
He had his years with the Giants and everything, and he had other backup roles around the NFL. And we go down to Northern Kentucky, just over the line from Cincinnati, to play an indoor football game, our Erie Explosion team. And all of a sudden, there is Jared Lorenzen, all 360-something pounds, 6'5", and then watch him roll
from
like
North Carolina.
Roll like a fish down the field, and he broke his ankle. and he was like done. I mean, it took
how many? Okay,
if the Redskins sign, if the Redskins sign Jared Lorenzen, I'm done. I'm done with that team. I will pick another NFL team.
It's like if Tennessee promotes Will Friend to offensive coordinator, my donation's probably gone.
No,
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Agree. Yeah.
Well, if it does, that just proves to me that this whole thing with
Is
where we want to win is a lie.
Yeah, you're not,
because
you're
that's
not
all that is that's Butch Jones 2.0 hiring his friends to coach positions and to coach things. I ain't about that.
We saw that movie play out once before.
Yeah,
the ending wasn't very fun the first time.
Something? Here's another a caller that sent me a message on Facebook. Says the answer to the 47-man roster is make it bigger, make it like 60.
Are you talking?
That's 53.
It's 53,
yeah,
but
53. You make it.
You can only carry you can only dress two quarterbacks.
Exactly, but you make it 60.
Yeah, you should only dress two quarterbacks, really. But yeah,
no,
because teams carry more than two.
I mean, it's just you're not practice squad. But
or even the Ravens kept.
What if you have two quarterbacks get hurt in the same game?
And that's
basically what happened. Then your punter is your quarterback, which that's unfortunate if that actually
or
occurred.
A wide receiver or a running back or whatever. But it doesn't change. It doesn't change the fact that I know on Madden, if you play Madden and you lose both your quarterbacks, then your punter comes in. Not really sure why that's the option. It's like I don't want Shane Leckler throwing the football. I'm not.
And no one has to see Sav Rocca, guys. The quarterback that was at Cleveland that's now in the CFL.
Johnny Manziel.
Yes. Do you think he could possibly be a possibility for the Redskins?
He could.
I think
literally any human being that can throw a football is on the table.
Well, there you go, Nick.
Well, hey, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna come back.
I wouldn't say no to it. Again, we don't have morals. This is not a team that cares about what the right thing to do is.
After the hour break with the news, with the national news, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have some Chattanooga Eagles players in. And they are going to talk briefly about their upcoming season in the IFL. And then we'll talk more, probably break into college football at the last hour. This is the Breakfast Blitz, Nick Leffew and company, 92.7 FM.
Three, two, one.
Chattanooga Radio, Digital FM 95.3 HD4, 92.7 FM's news now.
A victim was shot on Chamberlain Avenue last night around 7:15. The victim hospitalized in an unknown condition. Details are limited as police are still investigating. If you have any information about what happened, give the police a call at 698-2525. A Chattanooga police sergeant is the subject of an internal investigation after reports say he solicited prostitutes. Sergeant Peter Turk placed on administrative leave pending the completion of the investigation. He was taken into custody in a joint task force operation between the CPD Vice Squad and the TBI. And another earthquake hit Tennessee just a day after the record-breaking 4.4 magnitude quake, which rocked the Tennessee Valley. Reports say a more common 1.1 earthquake rattled residents of Decatur. Small quakes, not uncommon, but they seem to be more frequent as time goes on. Val St. John for Nooga Radio, News Talk 92.7, Action News now.
Chattanooga Morning News with Russ and Val. Weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM.
Cloudy and cool weather continues through your afternoon. Still a few spotty showers around. Highs lower 50s tonight. Slowly drying out. Lows into the lower 40s for Sunday. Lots of clouds but dry. Highs into the lower 50s. More sunshine back into the upper 50s on Monday. Experience the wonder of Ruby Falls Christmas Underground on a magical interactive journey to visit Santa at the North Pole. For tickets and more details, their website, rubyfalls.com. And I'm Storm Team 12's Chief Meteorologist, Patrick Ford.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
Your home is a constant work in progress. Repaint the walls? Yeah, easy enough. Leaky faucet? There's a video for that. But roof repair? You might want some help. That's where Chattanooga Roofing Contractors come in. They have 3 generations of roofing excellence you can count on. Leave the ladder in the garage. Go to chatroofing.com. That's chatroofing.com for Chattanooga Roofing Contractors, a roofing company you can trust.
Hey,
Hey, you. Yeah, you. This is your sandwich speaking. Yeah, your sandwich. And you know, you can't find me any place but the Mad Philly Sandwich Shop. Mad Philly Sandwich Shop, just off 153 on Shaliford Road. It's in the little plaza. Hey, check out these buns. Yeah, they're Amorosa. All the way from Philly. So bite me. You want a real Philly cheesesteak? Check out my meat. Throw some cheese on it and grilled onions. Oh, yeah. Now that's what I'm talking about. Only at the Mad Philly Sandwich Shop, where you'll always get the real taste of a Philadelphia cheesesteak. Plus hoagies, burgers, sandwiches, salads, fresh cut fries, tater tots, and other stuff. Mad Philly Sandwich Shop, just off 153 on Shaliford Road, right across from Mountain View Service Center. It's in the little plaza. Hey, come on, we're waiting for you here. So just shut up and eat it.
Even if you like your job, there are some things that can drive you nuts. Like the anonymous coward who steals your lunch from the break room fridge. Or maybe Tyler, the IT guy, who gives you that condescending look when you tell him that your computer is acting up again, as if somehow it's your fault. You put up with these clowns every single day. But what happens when you've had enough? That's the day you decide to retire. At least that's the hope, right? But will you be able to retire? Can you afford to retire? That's why you need to talk to Ron and Christy Adams at One Family Financial. They can't do anything about Cody, that moron who heats up fish in the microwave, but they can strategize with you on how to get the most out of your 401k or pension, how to grow your money without losing your shirt in the market, and how to help make your money last in retirement. Talk to Ron and Christy today about whether you'll be ready to retire when you finally had it with seeing Ethan walk out of the bathroom again without washing his hands. Gross. Call Ron and Christy Adams at One Family Financial, 423-710-2009, 423-710-2009.
Call 423-875-3600 if you're looking to expand your professional look of your business. Then consider the vast opportunities that are available when you locate your office with the Raines Group family. Remember, it's location, location, location. And the Raines Group has the location for your professional office. Check out the spaces for lease at Executive Business Park on the Lee Highway. Small or large, we will be able to suit your needs with the Raines Group. Call 423-875-3600 for the business professionals with the Raines Group.
Hey folks, Jeff Styles here, talk radio host and infamous technophobe. But I got to tell you, this Facebook Live that Nuga Radio does, it makes sense to me. It really does. Now, we're at 92.7 on the FM dial, but really where you need to go is Nuga.
WPLZ HD4 Ottawa, W224AZ Chattanooga.
Serving Chattanooga.
Broadcasting live from the center of the universe, the Tennessee Valley's most listened to news talk station.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by ZipRecruiter.
I'm Jim Taylor. Ruled unconstitutional, the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. CBS's Kenneth Craig reports.
In a lawsuit backed by 19 Republican attorneys general and one Republican governor, argues that since the penalty has been eliminated, Obamacare is no longer constitutional. In a 55-page ruling, Judge Reed O'Connor agreed, writing the penalty can no longer be fairly read as an exercise of Congress's tax power.
Some analysts are suggesting the conservative federal judge in Texas is overreaching, but from that state's Attorney General Ken Paxton on Fox.
We believe from the very beginning it was unconstitutional, and we think the judge did the right thing.
Supporters of the Affordable Care Act immediately say there will be an appeal. Until that's decided, the law stays in effect. New chief of staff at the White House, Budget Director Mick Mulvaney. Although, as we hear from CBS News political consultant Leonard Steinhorn.
In some ways, Donald Trump is his own chief of staff. So what he really needs in the White House is for somebody to control the flow of information, to work with all of the various constituencies, to try and bring them together, and to create a sense of stability and organization.
We are learning more about how the Trump brand profited from the inauguration of Donald Trump. Ivanka Trump being mentioned in an investigation of alleged fleecing by the inaugural committee. Here's CBS's Matt Pipe.
Federal prosecutors in New York are investigating the committee for possible financial abuses related to the more than $100 million in donations it raised. Documents show committee organizers complained to Ivanka Trump that the Trump Hotel was attempting to charge $175,000 per day for use of a ballroom and other meeting rooms.
Tear gas in the air and in the eyes of protesters on the streets of Paris. CBS News correspondent Roxanne Saberi is there.
On Monday, the president tried to quell the demonstrations by promising to raise the minimum wage and by offering some tax breaks. He has also canceled the fuel tax increase. President Macron made some promises on Monday. Why are you still protesting?
Because they're like 1/10 of what the French people are asking.
In addition to the fewer than 3,000 demonstrators wearing yellow vests today, some female protesters are bare-breasted, evoking Marianne from the French symbol of liberty. 90-mile-an-hour winds raging in Seattle.
We heard this great crash, boom, and much to my surprise, there's a huge tree on our house.
She is fortunate no one was hurt, and she still has electricity. More than 100,000 homes and businesses there do not. For a time, Highway 84 in Oregon shut down by the gusty winds blowing through the Northwest. This is CBS News.
ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. ZipRecruiter's technology finds qualified candidates for businesses of all sizes. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This holiday, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods are here to help with great last-minute gifts at great prices. Like gourmet chocolates for your coworker who's a workaholic and a chocoholic. Designer perfume for your friend you thought you weren't exchanging gifts with. Or statement earrings for your son's new girlfriend. Is it Karen or Sharon? You've got people to shop for. We've got new gifts at great prices arriving through Christmas Eve. TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods. And for those who love the outdoors, Sierra Trading Post.
Aaron's Gifts of Greatness event means you can bring home truly great gifts for your family. Because all you need is just $1 to get started leasing to own with deals on great brands like Philips, LG, and Samsung. With no credit needed and free delivery and setup. Plus, you can enter for a chance to win a home makeover shopping spree worth $10,000. This holiday, you can get started with just $1 from December 1st to the 16th at a participating store or Aaron's.com. Transaction advertised as a rental purchase agreement. Some restrictions apply. No purchase necessary to enter. See rules for details.
Adventuring into an abandoned coal mine is neither smart nor legal. CBS News correspondent Jim Krasula.
According to court records in southern West Virginia, 3 of the 4 people who went into an abandoned coal mine a week ago are already facing criminal charges. 43-year-old Eddie Williams is accused of breaking into another mine and stealing copper wiring last January. He was able to get out of the mine he went into last weekend on his own Monday night. 2 of the 3 people who were rescued Wednesday evening after spending 4 days underground are facing unrelated drug charges. Jim Krasula, CBS News.
It is a rare event when an Oscar is for sale, even more so when 2 of them are on the auction block. An Academy Award for Mutiny on the Bounty going for $200,000 in Los Angeles, exceeding expectations by a whole lot. The Best Picture Oscar for Gentleman's Agreement, $500,000. It's such a rarity because Oscars won after 1951 must first be offered back to the Academy for $1. I'm
3, 2,
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
Chattanooga City Hall was evacuated this morning after a report of a gas leak. Bruce Garner, fire department spokesman, told the press that there were no injuries reported and it was evacuated mostly as a precaution. Photos showed the roads clogged with emergency vehicles. As many as 8 bomb threats were detected around Hamilton County. They were sent via email, warning that a bomb would be detonated unless the victims sent Bitcoin to the attackers. Sequoia High School and Daisy Head Start were both placed on lockdown, but later the police gave the all clear. The police do not believe the threats were credible. New pro soccer team, the Chattanooga Red Wolves, could make its home just outside city limits. Reports say the team is eyeing Camp Jordan as a possible location for its home training center. City Council needs to sign off on the project before it's finalized. Sunday, Market Street from Cowart to West 13th shut down from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Plan accordingly. Russell Stroud, Nooga Radio News Talk 92.7 Action News now.
Cloudy and cool weather continues through your afternoon. Still a few spotty showers around. Highs lower 50s tonight. Slowly drying out. Lows into the lower 40s. For Sunday, lots of clouds but dry. Highs into the lower 50s. More sunshine back into the upper 50s on Monday. Experience the wonder of Ruby Falls Christmas Underground on a magical interactive journey to visit Santa at the North Pole. For tickets and more details, their website, rubyfalls.com. And I'm Storm Team 12's Chief Meteorologist, Patrick Moore.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
I'm always watching the Travel Channel. There's this one episode shot in the Mediterranean one night. It caught my eye. And the food, wow, definitely wanted to try some of that. Luckily, I didn't need to go halfway around the world. I found Olive Branch Mediterranean foods right here in East Ridge. East Ridge. They were telling me how the menu's made fresh daily. It's authentic and it's so delicious. Your next culinary trip, not halfway around the world. It's right here, waiting for you at home.
Visit Olive Branch Mediterranean Foods, 3992 Ringgold Road.
The first responders, these are the men and women who put themselves in harm's way for us. And here at Nooga Radio, we want to do our part to say thank you. On Nooga Radio, every Friday is First Responder Friday. We'll honor a first responder with a thank you gift from Nooga Radio's community partners. If there's a first responder you'd like us to honor, go to NoogaRadio.com and submit your nomination. First Responder Friday, sponsored by Doug Yates Towing and Recovery, the Mad Philly Sandwich Shop, New York Pizza Department, and Nooga Radio 92.7 FM.
Celebrate the holidays at the Chattanooga Symphony and Opera's annual family tradition, Home for the Holidays, December 15th and 16th at the Tivoli Theater. Enjoy a concert filled with lively and classic holiday tunes from the most wonderful time of the year, as the CSO is joined by the CSO Chorus, Metropolitan Bells, and guest vocalist Dee Danasco. Pictures with Santa will be part of the festivities. Tickets are available by calling 423-267-8583 or online at chattanoogasymphony.org.
The station you hear everywhere.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
Welcome back to Hour 2 of the Breakfast Blitz. I'm Nick Leffew. I am joined by, if you're watching on Facebook Live, you're going to see, well, you're not watching on Facebook Live right now because it's not on. But if you were watching on Facebook Live, you're going to see some new faces in here. I got some players from the Chattanooga Eagles. Semi-pro football team here in Chattanooga. Gentlemen, introduce yourself. Go around the room.
All right, I'm Big TJ Keeler, right tackle. Number 60.
You trying to take Wiley's job?
That'll never happen. No. Clarence Wiley, the starting left tackle.
I'm Damian Sotos, and I just play wherever I'm needed.
That sounds about right.
Good. That's good.
You playing running back this year, Sotos?
Yep, running back, slot, safety, linebacker, just wherever.
So, Eagles making a big move this year. Last couple of years, been a part of the GDFL, Gridiron Developmental Football League, from across the teams across the country, making a move to a little more local in the IAFL. How do you guys feel about that? One of you just take that question. TJ,
right.
You can go.
Well, the change has been a little different, but the good thing is that it seems to be a lot more interactive. We have our commissioner that's consistently putting his face out there, letting us know what's going on, telling us about new teams coming, new teams going. Telling about
I'll say this about, and that's Tracy Rico, is the commissioner of the IFL. And I'll say this about Tracy and me following the IFL and friends with Tracy on Facebook. Great promoter of the league, and I think that's a big part of the move that the Eagles made, was that the publicity and the positivity out of this league is a lot better. And that's no slight on the GDFL. The GDFL's done it a long time. They've done it well. But the IFL's up and coming, and it's going to be a great league to be a part of. When's your season start, guys?
I believe it starts March. I'm not sure the dates because it's a lot of teams coming in, and you got to fill them in.
So Chattanooga Eagles, based out of Georgia. Now that's only because Ridgeland High School, I do believe, is still the home of Chattanooga Eagles, and they great facilities there. Courtney Braswell, talk a little bit just about the relationship that you guys have with that organization. It's a great place to be. I know the Eagles played at Central with Courtney Braswell when he was there, and then moved with him to Ridgeland. How's that relationship? How are the facilities?
Everything's been amazing. It's just been welcoming since day one. When we did do the change, it was a little bit of a different vibe going across the state line to go play ball, but it's something that we've been prepared for, something we've been doing now for a year. And we're ready to go.
So out there, obviously, it's a lot nicer, with the facilities, with the artificial turf, which makes it a little bit hotter in the summer. But now that's no longer a problem. Do you guys like the move to playing an earlier season when it's not going to be as miserably hot?
I feel like it's going to help us in the long run, but eventually we'll be in the hot eventually because we plan on playing for that championship soon.
And that is, I believe, if I remember correctly, when I went last year, the end of June, which It's at Finley Stadium here in Chattanooga. Again, Tracy Rico doing a great job promoting his league, doing that. Now, offensively, since apparently we have all three offensive guys in here now, since Suttle's playing running back now. What's any changes? Obviously, don't give scheme away. Hayden will kill me. But what are you guys changing some things up, doing some things differently? What are some of the changes that you're going to see? Again, don't give scheme away. I don't want Hayden to kill me.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. We're running a little bit of tight end this year. Got a good sized guy he can catch and block, so that's really going to help out. So running game's going to be off the chain.
Okay, so running game going to change anything under center at all? Moving because I know Hayden's done a lot of spread in the last couple of years, and a lot of it's based on personnel and everything. And any under center pistol looks, things like that, a little bit different than just pure shotgun.
Going to be a little everything.
That's good.
There's some surprises out there.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. When it comes to quarterback play, last year I remember quarterback depth was a problem, not because we didn't have any, but because everybody got hurt. How's the quarterback position looking?
Oh, it's looking nice, actually. We got 3 guys out there, 3 legitimate QBs that's coming out there. They're going to war. No spots locked down, right?
And you can't. That's the way it should be. Obviously, every week you get to compete. You guys have practice today, correct?
Yes, sir.
And when you guys hitting up in full pads, I'm assuming after the first of the year to get ready for the season?
I believe the practice after Christmas, we have a little break for Christmas or whatever. But when we get back going, I think it's like 2 weeks after Christmas. Then we in full pads.
And how hard is it as a player to be out there in just basically shorts, t-shirt, and a helmet? You're not being able to hit. You guys hadn't hit. Well, I mean, you'll hit, but you haven't not really hit, and you haven't got to do it since like July.
I don't look at it as it being hard. I think it's a perfect opportunity for us to learn a lot instead of focusing on killing each other right now. We installing a lot of new things this year, so I feel like this is much needed without rushing in the pads. Everybody been saying they want to get in the pads and all that, but the big picture is we gotta get stuff in order before we start hitting each other.
That's a really good way to obviously look at it. I mean, because you don't want to peak too early. You don't want to peak before the season starts. You want to give some time to get into the new offense, new defense, things that change a little bit. Players depth wise, more players, less players than last year so far, or obviously early on in the off-season practices and everything, but you feel good about the roster?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I believe it's so many guys, and it's a lot of competition going on.
Obviously, I know the coaches try to do a lot of recruiting to get guys out there. What do you guys as players, like, how do you go about getting guys out there, getting new faces, guys that you may have played with in high school, college, wherever? How do you get those guys to come out there and buy into this type of football? Because realistically, if you haven't played it and you haven't been a part of it, it doesn't have the best name out there.
Yeah. We got the best recruiter in the building right here, Clarence Wiley. So I'm gonna let him tell y'all how we do that.
Yeah, well, what I do is, I like to start off, if they coming right out of college, they might still have that burn.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, what I'm gonna do? I got to combine. If not, you got a team right here. Just come on and play a couple more years. Maybe you didn't get a ring in college. Come down here and fight for another one.
Right.
And then, a couple of guys, they might just be sitting on the couch. They're like, man, I got this burn. So, hey, I get in their inbox, but like, look, man, I send them the pictures of the jersey, let them know everything. It's time to come home and eat.
Now, obviously, when you're at the gym, do you just go and be like, hey, you look like you've played football before? You want to come play football? Or is that too much of a cold call? Or do you just...
Oh, no, man, I just go straight up to him like, hey, man, you played a little bit of ball.
You want to play some more? Yeah.
Yeah, you want to keep playing?
Defensively, I know you guys Suttles, you've played defense. You two really don't play defense much. Any big changes defensively, or is that pretty much going to be status quo?
We're gonna change something. I think we're gonna be a lot faster on the defense side of the ball this year than we've been. We're gonna be a lot faster, and we're gonna get to the ball. We got a lot of players on the defensive side that ain't scared of nothing. That's all they want to do is just talk and talk. So hopefully, when the defense does step on the field, I hope it does look good. We're changing the whole defensive scheme and everything, so it's going to be completely different.
Well, that's also, I mean, that's huge too in this type of league to keep other teams on their toes, because I mean, films out there, people video these games, people do this kind of stuff. People can see what you do to change some things up, not necessarily change everything, but to add new wrinkles and do things like that. It's very important. Staff wise, obviously, there's been quite a few coaching ads and things like that. You guys like the fact that the staff's bigger?
Most definitely, yeah. We got a whole new vibe. We got positions all over the field at this point. Everybody's not all bundled up at the point. Got Coach Rich down there with the O-line. We got DB Coach Zach down there. You got Hayden roaming around. Roaming around and so everywhere.
And then the O-line coach, man, he's coaching too. I'm talking about.
Well, I've known Mijay a long time. We graduated the same year of high school. I've known Mijay forever. And when Hayden was telling me that Mijay's going to do it, I knew that the offensive line was going to be in good hands. I had no doubt in my mind with that. Now, offensive line wise, depth better than it was last year, or is it still kind of 6-7 guys?
Man, to be honest, man, semi-pro, everybody wants to play defense.
Yeah.
So, a lot of semi-pro teams, you might actually have anywhere from 2 to maybe 3 original O-linemen who have the O-line in their heart, who know the position. The defensive guys who come play O-line, it really ain't in their heart, but they're going to, they're not going to go out there and get killed, but they're going to do somewhat trying to do a good job.
When you say that, man, with everything, what the difference in guys who actually have that burn to play offensive line? What is it? Never playing those positions. What are the burn to actually play offense instead of defense? Because like you said, a lot of guys, even in high school, they'd rather play defense than offensive line.
Well, in my case, see, I like to take the shine away from somebody. And as you know, everybody, if one defensive guy makes the tackle, everybody's getting rowdy. See, the way I do it is, my man, he ain't going to make the play. So his dudes are going to get hyped. And I'm going to tell him, look, man, you had no part of that. So that's how I look. I like to take the shine away.
I love it. And I think that's the mentality that you got to have on the offensive line and to work as a unit. Do you feel confident that you're going to be able to run out the same 5 guys on offensive line all year? Because that's always been a problem. A lot of it to do, obviously, in semi-pro type football, it's hard to get guys there every week. And if there's one position group where continuity has to be a thing, it's offensive line. Do you feel comfortable with the 5 guys that you're going to have?
Oh, yeah, most definitely, because these guys are dirty. They don't want no type of recognition. We just do our job.
Not like you want me to buy you a pancake dinner when you get pancakes.
What happens in the meeting room is different.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. This man goes. What did you say? 2 years ago, it was if the unit got 50 pancakes, you wanted pancake dinner from me.
Hey, sound about right.
Yeah, and then we watched film, and then nothing was a pancake.
That was that year. You know what I'm saying? Tune in this year.
Yeah. All right. How's the ankle, TJ?
Oh, ankle's good. The uranium they put in that left side is A1 most definitely.
So that being said, how's the woman feel about you playing football again with a fake ankle?
Honestly, originally it was a little hesitation, but most definitely what it was just like being able, having kids.
Yeah,
all of them.
You're rivaling Phillip Rivers now, right?
Oh man, we're gonna see who wins this one. It's just showing the kids that even with a minor setback, you don't give up. That's what it's all about. And everybody knows semi-pro, you're putting it out there. You're putting your body on the line. And it's just a matter of if I can motivate that one person not to give up their dream for one setback, I've done it.
My favorite thing about yeah, you broke. I remember that. Yeah, you broke your arm and kept playing. Yeah, that was real smart.
So as long as we won, we
all had it. Yeah.
TJ, your ankle was like this. You weren't walking, let alone playing.
You wouldn't let me play in the boot though.
Well, yeah, that's true. No, it was also would have been stupid. Now, with semi-pro, you were talking about it. You're at this point, you're playing for the love of the game of football.
That's correct.
You're not out there getting a paycheck every week. You're not doing this stuff. You're playing because you love to play football. What, as you've gotten out of high school and you keep going, what keeps the drive to want to keep playing football?
I mean, I just I think I'm just a football player. So I've been playing football for so long that it don't bother me to get paid or not get paid. I ain't get paid in high school when I went out there and played forever, got beat up, got bumps and bruises and did everything. So I'm grown now and I ain't doing nothing but working my life away. So I don't think there's nothing wrong with playing football.
Might as well have some fun on Saturday, right?
Yeah, with your boys. Like I said, we all pretty much know each other. We played against each other in high school. A lot of us know each other. So it's fun to go out there and play with them.
It's kind of like you actually, one thing that you would always want in high school is to put an all-star team together and go play. Exactly. And with semi-pro in a Chattanooga area that's so rich in talent, that's kind of what you get to do. Oh, yeah. Talk about the opportunity to get to play. Now you've played with each other. A lot of you have played 3-4 years together. How was it difficult at all to kind of put old high school rivalries beside and play, or is it just something you're like, well, we're teammates now, let's go?
I mean, I think it's just once we came together, it was like, let's play ball. A lot of us, we all competed against each other, and we all knew if we did play with each other, that it was going to be a dangerous thing, and that's exactly what we done put together.
And that being said, I still know for a fact, especially you being the Tyner guy, you do always talk a little smack when it comes to your teammates, though.
Oh yeah. I tell all of them. Yeah, I tell all of them, like, I don't think I lost to nobody on the team in high school. I don't think I lost to nobody.
Let's talk. I want to talk about that just for a little bit. Having you guys in here, the way that Tyner, Keon and I did a couple of Tyner games this year, and watching them play, they were outstanding. Did you happen to go to the Trousdale County game that they ended up losing?
I watched it. I did not go. I'm glad I didn't go. I don't know what happened to that game.
Obviously, I didn't get to watch the game because we were elsewhere. But what happened? Like, that was not the team. That score right there was not the team that I saw when I watched them play.
They said they just came and just smacked them in the mouth, and no response from nobody.
Well, now to be fair, Trousdale County.
They was from South Pitt. They was playing South Pitt every year in 1A.
And they took Whitwell to the wire this year. Yeah. And they beat Whitwell a year ago. And Whitwell obviously won a state championship this year. Good for Whitwell. Also, I try to give a shout out to them every week for a little while.
Trousdale lost to Peabody in the finals. Yeah.
So I mean, that's the thing. Tyner would have probably realistically, had they beaten Trousdale, had a chance to win. And I hate it for guys like Batiste too.
He'll be back. Watch out for both of them, the quarterback and the
Martavius Riles.
Yeah, all of them coming back next
year.
Yeah,
they're going to be good. And obviously Coach T just continues to do. Obviously Coach T continues to do Coach T things. One of the games we did the Tyner Brainerd game, and the whole time I'm doing color, and so I'm just sitting there analyzing the game. Most of the time I'm just analyzing what Coach T's doing on the sidelines because it's the most hilarious thing I've ever seen in my life. He literally would leave. He was so mad that he went to the other end of the field and not talk to anybody. I was like, oh boy. If I was like, the poor kicker was standing over there near him, and that kicker just ran like the other way. Like, I'm done. All right. If you have a coach, do you have a coach on staff like that you got to be away from at the Eagles? Anybody get mad?
No, I don't got no Coach T's. It ain't no Coach T.
Well, there's very rarely a Coach T anywhere other than Coach T. But do you have a coach that when you make them mad, you just want to be away from them?
We hadn't got to the point where we made them mad.
Please. All right.
What a pass come on.
But you've played for these guys before. You know who to stay away from on the sidelines. I'm just trying to get you to. I'm trying to get you to throw one of them under the bus. That's what I'm trying to do.
They're smart and not doing.
I know they are. They are. See, if it wasn't guys I knew, I wouldn't be doing this to them to try to get them in trouble. But it's guys I know.
Failure, man.
Hey, that's what journalists do, man. All right. That's it. Good job, though. Good job dodging the question. I like it. Tell folks how to follow the Eagles on social media around and about. Somebody's got to know how to do it, or I'll tell them.
Oh yeah, no, we're all over. We're Chattanooga Eagles. You type us in Facebook, Instagram. I'm not sure if we're on Twitter or not, but Facebook, Instagram for sure. You check us out there. We always updating, letting you know what's going on with the team, letting you know what's going on with the community. Trying to make sure we're always
updating. These videos that are getting made this year. Those are pretty cool. Tell us a little about how that works. Do you pay any attention to that while you're out? Obviously, probably not. But do you know that the video crew's there getting stuff ready show up. How's that going? Do you like that?
Yeah, Zach, he's doing a really good job. You know, a lot of them guys want to be on camera anyway, so they'll run in his face, you know, run by him and just try to do a little something fancy. But Zach's doing a very good job.
Yeah, and Zach Allen, who actually played with you guys the first year of existence under another team name. But I'm excited for you guys to get an opportunity in this league. I anticipate trying to be as many games as I can at Ridgeland High School. I'm assuming games are still going to be 7 o'clock would be my assumption. It's going to be nice and cold in late February, early March. Are there any chances of a scrimmage or anything like that going on at Ridgeland High School?
Yeah, we got a jamboree. Is it the 2nd of February?
That's correct.
I think it's the February the 2nd.
Is it Saturday before the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
It's a 16 or is it 8 teams?
It's going to be all the Tennessee teams in the region, and then we actually have our rivals from the GDFL, the Huntsville Rockets, coming on down to come see your boy.
Now I'll say this about the Huntsville Rockets. Having been with you guys the past few years, the Huntsville Rockets are some of the, at least the staff wise. I don't know how you guys feel about the players, but the staff wise, some of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. They're always willing to make teams better, not just themselves, which for semi-pro to be successful, that's what you got to do. You got to make the league thrive, not just yourself. And that's exciting. That'll be a good time. So February 2nd at Ridgeland High School, they'll be doing a jamboree.
And it'll be like a 6-team or 8-team jamboree. So we'll have
all day.
We'll have an all-day event going on.
Well, then in that case, I'll most definitely be there, and maybe we can even Keon, maybe we can even do a remote of my show there that morning. Maybe we can out. So we'll talk about that, and I'll talk to Hayden about all that and get everything set up. But thank you guys again for coming in and joining us. I know you guys have to get to practice because y'all got to be there in probably should be there in about 20 minutes. So you better get on the road. Thank you guys again for joining it. Please come back. Obviously, any guys you want to come in, tell Hayden to come in too. He can come in anytime he wants. You're listening to the Breakfast Blitz. This is Nick Leffew and my Chattanooga Eagle friends.
Very good.
Three, two, one. Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
A victim was shot on Chamberlain Avenue last night around 7:15. The victim hospitalized in an unknown condition. Details are limited as police are still investigating. If you have any information about what happened, give the police a call at 698-2525. A Chattanooga police sergeant is the subject of an internal investigation after reports say he solicited prostitutes. Sergeant Peter Turk placed on administrative leave pending the completion of the investigation. He was taken into custody in a joint task force operation between the CPD Vice Squad and the TBI. And another earthquake hit Tennessee just a day after the record-breaking 4.4 magnitude quake, which rocked the Tennessee Valley. Reports say a more common 1.1 earthquake rattled residents of Decatur. Small quakes, not uncommon, but they seem to be more frequent as time goes on. Val St. John for Nooga Radio, News Talk 92.7, Action News Now.
Sean Hannity, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 p.m. on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
Your home is a constant work in progress. Repaint the walls? Yeah, easy enough. Leaky faucet? There's a video for that. But roof repair? You might want some help. That's where Chattanooga Roofing Contractors come in. They have 3 generations of roofing excellence you can count on. Leave the ladder in the garage. Go to chatroofing.com. That's chatroofing.com for Chattanooga Roofing Contractors, a roofing company you can trust.
Wow, Triumph Spitfire. I haven't seen one of those in ages. Boy, is it gorgeous.
Thanks. It was my grandfather's. Drives like a dream.
Where do you go to keep it up?
Rivermont Pure. I never thought I'd find a place, but they specialize in older and European cars. They get the hard-to-find parts and treat me right every time.
Rivermont Pure?
Yeah, they're on Hickson Pike across from Lupton Drive. I found them online at rivermontpureservice.com.
Rivermont Pure, import or domestic. If it rolls, they work it.
Whew.
Ho, ho, Merry Christmas. Well, let's take a look at the naughty and nice list. Well, let's see here. There's Sonny, and there's Deb, and even Annie made the list too. Well, let's look at the naughty list. Well, there's Billy and Greg. If you think you're on the naughty list, stop by Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds and get 70% off select merchandise in the store. Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds, 5301 Brainerd Road, Chattanooga.
For your small business, ending the year the right way can set you up for success come January. No need to let end of year panic set in. Easy Books and Taxes can help set up your books or new payroll service so that you can relax and enjoy the holiday season. With 35 years, bookkeeping, individual and business tax preparation, it's easy. With Easy Books and Taxes, you run the business, we keep the books. Call us today at 423-755-0821.
Man, you sure you know what you're doing?
Yeah, I worked with my dad on his truck all the time. Just one more bolt to go.
Yeah, wrong bolt. Today's truck ain't your daddy's truck. For repairs on today's vehicles, you need Amco Transmission and Total Car Care of Chattanooga on Lee Highway. Stay on the road, not in the garage. Amco Transmission on Lee Highway. Get it done the right way, the Thompson Pet way. Yeah, I just put that anywhere.
Hi, this is Scott Schrader. Tune in Saturdays for We've Got You Covered. From finance to fixtures and all things in between, when it comes to your home, we'll help steer you in the right direction. We've got you covered 10 to 12 every Saturday on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM.
Cloudy and cool weather continues through your afternoon. Still a few spotty showers around. Highs lower 50s tonight. Slowly drying out. Lows into the lower 40s for Sunday. Lots of clouds, but dry. Highs into the lower 50s. More sunshine back into the upper 50s on Monday. Experience the wonder of Ruby Falls Christmas Underground on a magical interactive journey to visit Santa at the North Pole. For tickets and more details, their website, rubyfalls.com. And I'm Storm Team 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Moore.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
Welcome back to the Breakfast Blitz. I'm Nick Leffew, joined by John Christopher and Keon Rose, wherever Keon is.
You know, he does what he wants to do.
Yeah, he's out and about, I guess. So that was a great segment with the three players from the Chattanooga Eagles, Damian Suttles, TJ Keeler, and Clarence Wiley.
Clarence Wiley, I'm just going to say this on the air because I know he's listening. I have a firm handshake. It's not like deafening, but it's a firm handshake. My hand is still numb.
Yeah, the man.
He doesn't know his own strength.
Man's got a mean handshake.
I bet he's a mean guy on the field too.
He's a teddy bear.
No, I mean on his opponent.
Yeah, he's not nice to them.
No,
he's not nice to them.
Like I said, my hand, I'm still trying to get feeling. You know, you were talking about. I had made a comment earlier about possible coaches for UTC.
Mm-hmm.
And I also made the comment talking about how a lot of I really see up and becoming offensive and defensive coordinators getting this opportunity. But there was a couple on there that one of them for sure could get a real look, and that's Marcus Satterfield. It was with Russ Huseman's.
Yeah, I would be a little surprised to see them go after somebody who's not already a sitting head coach.
Oh,
I would be a little surprised.
And then you had a former head coach in there too. But, you know, I just think that as a fan of UTC, which I love UT, but I love UTC athletics too, this stepping stone's going to hurt and going to go back the way it was before Huseman.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because, again, you know, like we talked about, it's hard for these coaches to stay here because a lot of these head coaches, for their own career, they want to move up to FBS. And so if you are successful at the FCS level, you're going to be able to move up. And Chattanooga's kind of, you know, because they've been able to be successful, they're losing coaches because of it. I think that's positive attrition. It is good to lose coaches to better jobs because that means the coach that you had did a good job. So that's very important.
You know, one of the things about having those type of coaches is that the program does suffer, and you know, you need some stability in it. And
caller, you're on the air.
Hey guys, it's me.
Oh, hey Sam.
Oh gosh, it's Sam.
Don't sound so excited, Nick. You know, we were talking about Coach Arth and everything, and you know who some possible replacements were going to be considered. You know, let me throw this out there. It was just announced yesterday that Ted Gatewood over at East Hamilton resigned after 10 years. He's been the only football coach over at East Ham. And, you know, he could possibly
I know
be
where you're going with this.
one of those candidates possibly at UTC because of his successes that he's had over the years.
There's some drama going with that.
I love Ted Gatewood. But
there's some drama going with that we don't know yet.
And to be fair, look, I don't, and this is going on in Knoxville right now too, with people for this offensive coordinator hire wanting George Quarles to be the offensive coordinator at Tennessee, and it is a minority, but there are people, especially Maryville people, who want George Quarles in as offensive coordinator. Now, George Quarles, as most people know, if you know Tennessee high school football, longtime head coach at Maryville, and did a great job there, obviously winning tons of state championships, being able to poach all that Blount County talent because apparently they can recruit at Maryville. And then after that, you know, he moved and he coached tight ends at Furman, and then now he is the offensive coordinator there, and they did not have a good year. I just think anytime you bring guys from high school ranks right into big time positions on coaching staffs, it's a struggle.
And let me throw one other thing out, then I'll let you guys go. You know, I think another candidate for the UTC job, and Nick, don't laugh when I say this name because I'm being very serious, because of his rapport with young athletes, you know, with the Chattanooga Eagles. Hayden Clark, I think, would be a great possibility.
Stop.
What is he?
On a phone call with Sam.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've never dumped a phone call, and it was Sam.
Have you ever dumped Mike Steele before?
I have not.
Wow.
No, I'm sure you have.
Oh, yeah, many times. Many times.
You know that number, Keon, give him that number out there so they can call us because I'd like to hear from them.
423-800-8949, 423-800-8949.
So this is the Breakfast Blitz. I'm Nick Leffew, Keon Rose, John Christopher join us. John, tell us a little bit about your show and when it starts.
Yes, the sports guys, which I'm going to be the host here, and we're going to have y'all are most invited to come anytime. It's going to be starting December 31st, 2018 at 7 o'clock will be the premiere night. We are going to have a fabulous show, and we're going to have lots of sports writers. We're going to talk all things local, regional, and national. We're going to try to focus on the mocks if I can get some people from the mocks to call. But one of the things we're going to focus on is bowls, because obviously you got several bowl games that day, and then I'm going to be on. Now, a lot of sports shows, their stars, and I say stars, take the day off. Not this star. This star is going to be New Year's Day. Will be here to do sports guys. We're going to talk all things football. I'll have a TV in here. I've got TVs all around. I'm going to be able to get those scores. And we're going to be on 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock, Monday through Friday, starting December 31st. And we're not taking the holidays off. We're going to be right here. And we're looking forward to having y'all come when you want to. I've got a friend of mine named Josh Stone, who's been with me since the podcast days. And he's going to be in here and help us and that kind of thing. We got some technicality things, but we're working on it. But I got a debate. and I cannot wait to get y'all involved.
I do love a good debate. I do. I would be very upset with myself if we didn't talk a little bit about last Sunday's basketball game. Between Tennessee and Gonzaga. Obviously, I feel like I've done a pretty good job of tempering my Tennessee talk today, and we've talked a lot of other things. But,
sure.
But very, very proud of this basketball team. And if you get a chance, there is an article. I'm gonna give a shameless plug to this writer. What is his last name's Titus, and he writes for The Ringer. And you look up this article, and it's about Tennessee basketball. Well, it starts out, it's a really long article, but it starts out talking about how he went to this game expecting to, he had an article basically already written talking about how great both of these teams were, but how just athletic and dominating Gonzaga is, and how this could be the best team Mark Few's ever had. And then he witnessed Tennessee come out there and really, look, Tennessee did a great job from the very beginning of that basketball game to put Gonzaga behind the 8 ball. Gonzaga's without Tilly, their best player still at this point, but Tennessee's still without Lamonte Turner, who's their best bench guy and really their best shooter. And so it's very interesting to me to see how well Tennessee played. I thought I was really nervous when Grant fouled out. About 3.5 minutes left, and then
should have had the faith in the Admiral.
Well, look, I just remember it's recency bias. I see Grant Williams foul out against Kansas, and it falls apart. And then he fouls out against Gonzaga, and Admiral Schofield says, "Give me the ball," and he scores the last 11 points for Tennessee.
You know what's crazy though?
Yeah.
This actually is one of Mark Few's best teams.
It is. It might be his best team. And this team, and look, everybody, college basketball these days, you don't go undefeated. You don't go through a 35 game schedule and
you're not UConn women.
Yeah, you're not going to do that. I mean, there's a reason that the last team to do it was a Bobby Knight coached Indiana team back in the 70s. I mean, there's a reason.
So John Calipari was real close.
He was, and then that's the problem. Think about the pressure.
The semis.
Think about the pressure that comes on that team once you're undefeated and you get into the tournament. That means you have 6 games left to be the best team ever. And I just don't know. I don't know that we'll ever see it just because of the parity. One, the parity in college basketball. The fact that teams like Loyola Chicago can make a run to the Final Four.
Mm-hmm. I think we will see it, but we're gonna see it from I don't know, not necessarily like a team like this Duke team. They've already lost and everything too, but like a team that loaded.
I don't think you're gonna see it from a team that's full of one and dones. And here's the reason why, because it takes a long time for those teams to get together and to get cohesive. That's why people are like, oh God, this Kentucky team's really bad. No, they're going to be fine. Because once January rolls around, they're going to start winning games. They're going to get it together.
They do that for UT. Year. I don't think they beat UT.
And I don't either. And but the thing about Tennessee is this team's played together for 3 years. The continuity's already there.
Oh yeah.
And
I don't think anybody in the SEC really realistically can.
Auburn can compete just because of their guard play. Their guard play is really good, and that can give Tennessee problems. Auburn beat Tennessee last year in Knoxville. That is the last game of the regular season, by the way. Tennessee-Auburn at the Barn.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's going to be fun.
In Auburn. So, in Auburn,
that's
Alabama.
And, it's the old ball coach, Bruce Pearl.
Bruce Pearl, who I, while I was at UT, covered the 2 years he was there while I was there. Loved Bruce Pearl. Great person. I got to know Bruce pretty well. I was at practice every single day covering Bruce and great guy. Really unfortunate how all went down with him at Tennessee.
Yeah, the barbecue.
But good for him to be able to bring a dead program. I mean, that's 2 now. He brought Tennessee, which was dead, back, and he's brought Auburn, which was dead, back.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can say Tennessee does historically have decent basketball history. Going back to the Ray Mears days.
But they've always been a football team. Now it's reverse.
It is.
Unfortunately.
I mean, and me personally, I'm okay with it. Look, I'm going to be in the very, very minority with this because I actually enjoy the basketball season more than football season because it's longer. And I get 2 games a week once you start conference play.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I love the NCAA tournament. I think it's the greatest event in college sports is the NCAA tournament. I love the fact that 68 teams have an opportunity to win a national championship. 32 or 34 of them are 32 are champions, 34 are champions, whatever. A conference champions, which I personally believe that the conference champions should be whoever wins the conference regular season, not the tournament, because I think that's stupid. Just because a team gets hot doesn't mean they're the best team in the conference.
And yeah, I mean the tournament. The tournament basically just measures how good are you at winning single games
in a row. Yeah, like how good are you winning back to back?
Overall good team.
Exactly.
And I personally believe, and I will always believe, that the automatic tournament bid should be from winning your regular season conference title, not your. Now, if you're in a Power 5 conference, really doesn't matter. If you're that close anyway, you're probably getting in. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But these mid-major teams that go on a run and win a championship and then get absolutely destroyed when they're like 14 and 17.
You win the Western Athletic Conference tournament and make it in. Yeah, obviously you're going to get steamrolled by the first real team you see.
Yeah, because you're like the 14th, 15th, and 16th seed, and you're taking on a team like a Duke or a North Carolina.
I mean, sometimes it's legit. I mean, and that's the thing about the tournament. You, as much as you can say, mostly this happens, every now and then you just have some outliers.
Well, then you have UMBC beat Virginia.
Yeah, and
exactly.
Who can see that coming?
Well, to be fair, Virginia was their best. Their sixth man was out, and they don't run a deep rotation. I know I'm making excuses for them,
and I accept zero of those excuses that you're making for them.
Right.
UMBC lost earlier that season to I don't know some school out of New York. Small school,
like Stony Brook or something.
It wasn't Stony Brook, but yeah, it was around that caliber of school.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, and they lost bad too. It was like 18 points, and they turned around and beat Virginia. You have no excuses if you're Virginia.
You're right.
You just don't run a real offense over there. So that's why you're constantly.
Or your players, they just quit.
And
a combination of the two.
Look, I love what Tony Bennett's done at Virginia, and I still think right now they're one of the best teams in the country. And I think they're going to be a competitor, but I think there's realistically there's about 6 to 8 teams that I can see actually winning the national championship, and Tennessee's one of them.
Tennessee's going to go deep in the tournament. I'm not so sure they're going to get the championship, but I do think they're going to make the region championship.
If Tennessee can make if you can make a Final Four, if Tennessee can make a Final Four for the first time in program history, this season was a success. I'm sorry, this is a high expectation I have for this team, but if they just make the Sweet 16 and bow out, I'm sorry, that's not good enough.
Not with how deep
that'd be underachieving.
Yeah, they're too talented for just the Sweet 16.
There are years where when you make the Sweet 16, you're happy about it. Like last year, had we made the Sweet 16 and not lost to the hottest team in the country, Loyola Chicago, then yeah, I would have been happy. But I think also if Tennessee had won that game, they would have made it to the Final Four because the road was set up for them and they just dropped a game to Loyola Chicago without Kyle Alexander.
Yeah, and in fairness, everyone dropped the game to Loyola Chicago. That's pretty much how that was going.
Well, I was really excited when they beat whoever they beat because I was like, well, this is exciting. This means we got an easier road. And I'm like, oh, God, we lost because we can't defend. Which was not a problem.
The other team's
all
got
year.
None.
Yeah, oh, God. Don't get me started on Sister Jean. I
know you hate her.
I am not a fan of Sister Jean in her wheelchair.
Just dropping
that just got old.
Dropping
real quick. And that got old before we even lost to them in the second round. Like they were talking about it in the first round. Oh, Sister Jean. No, okay. Look,
well,
stop.
You knew the media was going to beat that horse.
Oh, they beat it bad. They beat it so bad it was just ugly.
Yeah, it beat it. Oh God, it was over. It was
overkill.
Knew.
The thing is, she has this personality that the moment she's in front of a camera, she's like, "Oh, I'm going to give you a quote today."
Yeah.
And there's nothing that the media is easily distracted by quotes.
Oh, they are.
We just love it.
Quotes are the best. I mean, that's what they love. And
you're trying to fill page space, and then here comes this nun trash talking. Yeah, you're doing it. Okay, you're just doing it.
Yeah.
So let me bridge off this because I've been eating at this for 15 minutes.
Sorry.
It's okay. No, it's okay. I want to talk about playoffs.
Okay. Yeah, we got 3 minutes. Let's do it.
3 minutes. Okay. First thing, what is your opinion of the college football playoff system at this time?
The way it is?
Yes.
Broken.
Why?
Because your 5 Power 5 conferences that you say are your most important conferences are not all represented. And every other in professional sports, guess what? If you win your division, you're in the playoffs. If you win and I also think conference championship games are antiquated and we need to get rid of those.
No. Okay, let's go back here. That's like giving out a trophy for participation.
It's 8 teams out of 132.
Yeah, but the point of it is you want to be the one of the top 4.
The NFL, there's 32 teams and 16 and 8 teams make the playoffs. Or no, excuse me, 12 teams make the playoffs. 6 in each conference. There's 32 teams and 12 of them make the playoffs.
It's still a participation trophy. You need to be the top 4. And we're going to talk about that. Go ahead.
I don't even think you need to be the top 4. I just think 8's too big.
6 maybe?
I think you have a better argument for 6. That way you're at least saying, okay, our best 5 conferences we can sort of figure out there. And then obviously you've got Notre Dame that can throw a wrench into things. And then any of the non-Power 5 conferences
but if
as
you
well.
Go,
but this idea that somehow you make it better because now you've got 8 teams. We were just talking about the conference tournaments in college basketball. A college football playoff would be a one-off set of games. I don't think that necessarily tells you who the best team in football is at that point.
No, and I really, as long as for the most part, there's usually 2 or 3 teams that have a chance to win, and this year it's 2, in my opinion. So maybe it's not.
Alabama the one that's the powerhouse all year long and then gets beat?
The only one that can beat them is Clemson.
And my point to the Notre Dame is join a conference.
Agreed. I agree 100% with that. Notre Dame.
They're in the ACC and everything else but football. Join a conference.
But why would you? Why would you at this point? Because you've proven that you don't need to be in one to make the playoff. So there's no point for them to do it.
The point of it is they shouldn't be in the playoffs.
So I agree 100%.
And the committee is the one that has to decide that. The same way the committee decided a few years ago when the Big 12 tried to sneak in Baylor and TCU and got neither. And oh, look, now they have a conference championship game. The committee has the ability to affect what teams do. If they told Notre Dame, look, we know you're good, but your schedule's soft and you're not in a conference, they change that up real quick.
Exactly.
They absolutely would.
And then let me tell you something. The Pac-12 is a weak Power 5 conference. They don't play anybody. Tell them to come over and play somebody like, somewhere in the SEC or the Big 10 or Big 12. They play all those pansy teams out there in the West.
I agree 100%. And obviously next week we can break this down even more because we'll be getting closer to that time. But you've been listening to the Breakfast Blitz. I'm Nick Leffew, Keon Rose, John Christopher. We'll be back next week. Stay tuned for We Got You Covered Radio. Scott Trader.
Chattanooga Radio, Digital FM 95.3 HD4, 92.7 FM's news now.
A jail inmate died, according to the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office. David Bullock was having difficulty breathing, according to nursing staff. They took him to the hospital, but he died. The medical examiner is going to work to figure out what exactly happened. He was in jail on charges of public intoxication and theft of property. There was a large protest outside the Hamilton County Courthouse on Friday. The crowd demanded charges against Charles Toney be dropped. Many in the crowd wore fake handcuffs as a sign of solidarity. A bathroom brawl at Heritage High School left one student with a concussion and 23 stitches. The 2 boys apparently have a history and agreed to settle things in the bathroom. The student who threw the first punch was charged with aggravated battery. The Catoosa County School System is investigating. Market Street Bridge is going to be closed for testing on Sunday. Plan accordingly.